everyone. Today we are multiplying monomials. This is going to look very familiar because it is exponents. Awesome, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do this. Let's go ahead and look at our notes. These are the things you should have filled in. You need to go ahead and fill in all of the blanks. So we're going to multiply the coefficients, use the product rule to simplify the exponents. As you can see over here, I've circled the fact that we are adding our exponents. Excellent. So I'm going to show you the expanded form for number 1. So what I mean by expanded form is this 2 right here at the top actually tells me how many times to multiply x by itself. So this is actually going to be x times x. This 3 up here tells me that I have to multiply x by itself 3 times. So I've got x times x times x. And this falls down here, so everything's being multiplied together. Well, now I can just count how many x's I have. So I have 5 x's. This is a really great method for when your numbers are pretty small, or if you're having trouble remembering the rule. This is great in a pinch. However, when you get to numbers a little bit bigger, like number 2, 8 to the 9, it can get a little cumbersome. So here's another method. Looking back at our rules, we are going to be adding our exponents together. So I'm going to do that this time. I need to understand that there is an invisible 1 hovering above this a. So I have a to the 9 plus 1. Don't leave it like that though. You've got to go ahead and simplify it completely to be a to the 10. Excellent. So, as with everything else we do though, it gets a little more complicated after this point. So let's go ahead and look over at number 9. So number 9 is a little bit more complicated. We have some coefficients and we have multiple things being multiplied together. That's okay. We're going to color code this and we're going to go step by step. So one thing I like to do is sometimes I like to take everything and I like to multiply them next to what they're being multiplied by. So for example, -2 and 3 are going to be multiplied, so I write them next to each other. Something else is going to be multiplied is I've got this x right here, and this x squared. I've also got this y, and this y, and this y to the 3rd power, y cubed. So now I can combine everything. I know that -2 times 3 is -6. I know that there's an invisible 1 on these two x's, so it's actually 1 plus 1 plus 2, so it's x to the 4. I know that there's an invisible 1 on the y's, so it's 1 plus 1 plus 3, so it's y to the 5th. And voila, I'm done. That's my final answer. I've simplified it as far as I can. Let's look at number 12 as well. Whoops, I went a little far. So we can go ahead and do 11 and 12 right here. So I've got 8 and 10. I can do the rewriting method. I've got 8 times 10. I've got c squared, c to the 3rd, and I've got d, which I know is actually d1, and d to the 5th. Add everything together, and I've got 80. Whoops, I said add everything together. Not necessarily true, it's 8 times 10. Please keep that in mind. We're still multiplying, we're just adding our exponents. So I've got 80. I've got c, and for the sake of us being able to make sure we see it, it's c2 to the plus 3, and it is d1 plus 5. So final answer is 80. Final answer, my mistake, is 80. You know what? It's all agreed now. 80 c to the 5th, d to the 6th. And that's our final answer for 11. 12 isn't much different. It's just that the number is outside the parenthesis. I'm still multiplying everything together. So I'm still multiplying -4 times -5, which is 20. I am still multiplying all my r's together. So I'm going to do the method here where I've got r to the 1, that's r to the 1, times r to the 4, so that's 1 plus 4. And then I've got my s squared and my s, so I've got s squared plus 1. This is my invisible 1. So now I know that I've got 20 r to the 5th s to the 3rd. Excellent. Let's look at 13 and 14. These are only intimidating because they have fractions. Don't forget, you can go ahead and change this to a decimal. So this could be 0.5, A and B. And then you would do the same thing we did before, just multiply them together. Let's go ahead and look at 14 though. I want to show you guys what you can do when you don't have your calculator. So for example, let's say I'm at home and I don't have my calculator at home. I've got to multiply 12 times 2 over 3. Well, there's an invisible 1 under 12, multiplying by 2 over 3. When I multiply them straight across, I've got 24 over 3. Simplify that further, and I've got 8. Come back to look at our exponents. It looks like I've got no x over here. I've got one little x by itself. So I'm going to put the little x right here. And I've got y1 right here and y to the 4th. So y1 plus 4. I can go ahead and bring my x straight down to my answer. So 8x. I don't have to put x1. And y to the 5th. Excellent. And I'm done with 14. I want to look at 16. All right, so we're going to do 16 and then we're going to do 19. So on 16, this one's a little more complicated because I have two portions of this problem separated by a plus sign. I can't just multiply everything together anymore. I have to stop and do it in parts. So let's go ahead. I'm going to multiply 2 times 4. So I've got 8. I've got x to the 5th multiplied by x to the 1. So I've got x to the 5th plus 1. I've got y squared, okay, and y to the 3rd. So I've got y2 plus 3. Okay, then. And I can go over to the other side and I can say, okay, there's an invisible 1 in front of here, in front of my x. So 3 times 1 is 3. I've got x to the 4th multiplied by x squared. So it's x to the 4 plus 2. I've got y to the 4th. I don't know why it's not letting me circle anymore, guys. It'll be okay. I've got y to the 4th times y. There's an invisible 1 right here. So 4 plus 1. Alrighty. So I can go ahead and simplify these. I'm going to bring my 8 down. I've got x to the 6th. I've got y to the 5th plus 3 x to the 6th, y to the 5th. Now with our color coded, it helps me to look at my variables a lot more and see, are they the same? So before I can add these two together, I have to make sure I have like terms. That means that my variables, which are these letters, and their exponents, which are the smaller numbers above them, have to be identical. So let's make sure I got that. I've got x to the 6th here and x to the 6th here. I've got y to the 5th here and y to the 5th here. So I've got 11 x to the 6th, y to the 5th. My total answer is this right here. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do one more problem. Oh, it looks like we got 2 on here. So you know what? We can go ahead and do these 2. we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bring 19 down. Actually, there's nothing on this section over here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring everything down. I've got 19 m to the 8 and n to the 8. Okay, so there is nothing to add or combine. I'm so sorry, there is nothing being multiplied that I could add together. So I just bring it down. Next, I look at the other side of my subtraction sign. I can go ahead and multiply 4 and 3. I've got 12. I've got m to the 5th. Wow, do I have another m? Yep, right here. So m to the 5th plus 3. And I've got n, I know there's an invisible 1. So I've got n to the 1 and plus 7. So, again, I'm just going to bring down 19, m8, n8. I don't want to ignore them or stop bringing them down because I'm afraid I'll forget them. And so I see that happen a lot, so I bring it down. So I've got 12, m to the 8, n to the 8. Again, I'm going to confirm that my variables are the same. Even if you think they are, confirming won't hurt. It only takes a few seconds. M to the 8, m to the 8, n to the 8, n to the 8. And if you guys want to bring colored pencils to class and do this on your own paper or do this on your homework and color code, if that helps you, do it. It's pretty awesome. So my final answer is 7. M to the 8, n to the 8. Excellent. That's my total answer for that one. Last but not least is 19. So I've got, going to go ahead and multiply -5 and -3. A negative times a negative is a positive. So I've got -15. Let's do some different colors. I've got C. Ooh, there's nothing on the C, so I know it's an invisible 1. So C1. Here's C to the 4, so 1 plus 4. And I've got D. So I've got D right here, again, invisible 1, and another invisible 1. So it's 1 plus 1. Alrighty, go to my other side of my subtraction sign. Bring down the subtraction sign. Don't just leave it. Don't forget it. So I've got 7 times 2. That's 14. Alright, cool. So I've got C squared and C to the 3rd. So I've got, since I'm multiplying them, I'm going to add their exponents. C to the 2 plus 3. And, there's nothing else to multiply D squared by. That's okay. I'm just going to bring it down. Don't do anything else to it. That's perfectly fine. Alrighty, so now I've got, I made a mistake earlier. I said -5 times -3 was positive 15, but I forgot to write the positive. My mistake, guys. Please remember to pay attention to those kind of things. Those kind of simple mistakes can mess you up on a test. So, 15, C to the 5th, D squared, minus 14, C to the 5th, D squared. Alrighty, so I want to make sure again that they're the exact same. So, checking my variables. C to the 5th, C to the 5th. D squared, D squared. That means I can add these together. I'm going to end up with 1 C to the 5th, D squared. Or you can leave the 1 off and just have C to the 5th, D squared. And if you want to do that, that is perfectly fine as well. Awesome, guys. I hope this helped. I will see you guys later. Have a good day.